Hello everyone, welcome to Winged Paper Crafting. My name is Angel Fitch. If you're new around here, welcome. And if you're returning, welcome back. I'm so glad you've all decided to join me today. Today we're going to do our 6th set of alternatives for the January 2026 Paper Pumpkin Kit Special Delivery. Here are the 9 cards that you could have made had you done this kit as intended. But as you know, we don't do as intended around here, so let's change things up a bit. So, I'm getting our first card out here. If I could ask, if you hadn't subscribed to my channel yet, I would really appreciate it if you hit that subscribe button and join us. Okay, so we're going to start on this one. So we're going to start today with, this is a card base of Pretty in Pink. No, it's Bubble Bath. I'm sorry. This is Bubble Bath. It's 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. We're going to give this a good burnish here. I've got a piece of basic white for the inside that's 4 by 5 1/4. And I've got a card topper that came in the kit that I have sliced in half diagonally. So from the upper right hand corner to the bottom left hand corner. And we are going to put that on our card right like this and spread that apart. But before we do that, we're going to do some stamping here on the inside. So I'm going to just put these on here, kind of like that, and I'm just going to take a pencil and make a very faint, and it's a line I can erase if it shows later, but just a little line here on each side of this, of the topper, so that I know where I want to stamp at. Okay, so we're going to put those to the side. We are going to use the stamp set that was the product of the month for the month of January. It's called Fabulous Sayings. And we are going to use Sending Love is what we're going to put in here. And on the inside, we're going to do You're on My Mind. So this one. So we're going to stamp in Strawberry Slush, just because I wanted a darker ink for the pink. So let's see what we can do here. So let's ink this up. I want to make sure I get good coverage on my stamp. I'm going to just kind of put this, get something on that. Let's get that off. So it's sort of, I think, straight. So basically the points of each end I'm going to align on the board. And let me ink that one more time. So we're just going to kind of center this up, and some of these letters, the tall ones and the ones on the bottom, are kind of going to sneak under our card topper, but I think you'll be able to tell what it says close enough. So let me get this down here. I'm going to give that a couple of seconds for the ink to transfer, and there we go. Perfect. Okay, now quickly I'm going to just get rid of my pencil lines, just because I don't want them to show. So just like that. Perfect. Now, let's go ahead and put this to the side, and we'll do our inside stamping, so I put the ink away. So we're going to do our right side up. You're on My Mind. We don't want to have a disaster and do it upside down, because that would be awful. Okay, so let's get this right here in the middle. I'll give that a second or two. Perfect. Okay, now I can put the ink away. So hopefully we'll have no ink disasters. I'm going to check my hands just to make sure. All right, I'm going to go ahead and put this on the inside. And then we will get our outside put together. Okay, so we're going to put that down in here. Move that around a little bit till we get that centered up the way I want it. That's not the way. Let's scoot that over just a little. Okay, there we go. Looks much better. Alright, so we'll give that a good push. Now, back on the front here, we're going to take our 2 pieces here and put these back right in the corners. So let's go ahead and glue this up here. And I'm just going to kind of turn this so I can get a good angle. Come on. All right, so right there at kind of the top of our sentiment. I'll give that one a good push. Now let's do our bottom one. Whoops. I'm going to put this one right down here. Okay, stay put. It wants to move. Alright, so we've got that one lined up there. There we go. So we've got our sending love. And we've got our inside done. So all we need is some bling on the outside. So I've got our Strawberry Slush and Pretty in Pink gems here that we're going to use. And I think we'll use the pinker ones here in the middle. And I'm just going to put some of these on the inside of our little flowers here. And we'll do one little one down here. And there, we've got our really cute Sending Love card. Okay, next, we've got this one. So I've got a card base here of Poppy Parade that is 4 1/4 by 11. And I've scored it at 5 1/2 and then at 2 3/4. So we're going to give this a good burnish. If I can figure out where I threw my bone folder. Here we go. So we'll burnish that up and then we're going to burnish this one. There we go. Okay, so we've got a piece of white that's going to go on the inside that we're going to stamp on. So we'll put that over there. And then this is some, and I don't remember where this was. It was an older pattern paper that I thought this side looked really good with our Poppy Parade. So we're going to put those there. And then we're going to build up a little thing here on the front on this. This is a cut from the Perennial Postage dies. And this measures 3 1/4 by 4 1/2. If you don't happen to have this die, you can just use a, regular piece of paper without the scallops around the edges. So let's get our pattern paper here down. So we're going to go ahead and glue this one. So this one's just going to get centered up right here on this flap. Let's see if we can get this centered. Alright, that looks pretty straight, I think. There we go. Okay, good deal. Now, this one's going to go right here, so we'll go ahead and put it, if I can get it picked up, we'll get this one down. Okay, so this is going to go just right in this right-hand corner. And we're going to just give this a nice normal, okay, if we can get it straight, nice normal edging, so top, bottom, and to the right-hand side. Okay, there we go. Looks pretty good. All right, now let's do our stamping so that we can finish our front. So we're going to use this little postage looking label thing here to do our front sentiment in, and we're going to do from this same stamp set, we're going to do hello, and then on the inside we're going to do just because. I needed something little that was going to fit on here. So we're going to stamp in Poppy Parade. So we'll get our hello. Get that inked up. See if I can get this straight. And we're just going to put that down. Give that a good press. Let that sink in. Let the ink transfer. Let the ink sink in. There we go. And then on our inside, we're going to do our just because. So we'll get that inked up. Line this up. And we'll get our just because down, and it looks crooked to me. So we will see if we need to. I guess I can live with that. Okay, not as bad as I thought when I first put it down. Let's put the ink away. And check my fingers. I don't want any ink disasters. Whenever I work with red ink, it seems like it gets everywhere. Reds and pinks. And so we're going to put this in here. Just, oh my goodness, lined up with our other piece of paper here on the right. And we need to make sure that that covers. Okay, so we're good. We can press that down, and that is crooked as all get out. Oh my goodness. Let's try that one more time. See if I can get that straight. That's much better. Okay, so there's our inside. Now let's work on our outside. So we've got our piece of white here, and we're going to put this piece of Poppy Parade, which is 1.5 by 4.5, and I'm just going to put that right across here, and we're going to build up our little flowers on it here. So let's get this down across, centered here. So I'm looking for the same amount of space, top and bottom. Okay, we'll give that a good press. We've got our 2 flower looking postage stamps that came in the kit. We're going to put one of those on each end and our hello in the middle. So let's get some dimensionals because I want to pop these up. So we will pop our flowers up here on each end. Get the backs of those off. And then, let's see, I think it goes this way. So I'm just going to barely set this down because I don't want to commit yet until we get our spacing right between all 3 of these elements. Let's see, so this one will go here. And then this in the middle. It might be enough. Okay, so we're going to put it right smack here in the middle between them. And let's see if we're okay with our spacing, which I think it looks pretty good. We're going to straighten this one up just a tad. Looks a little crooked. Okay, I think they're good. We're going to press them down. Now, we're going to attach this right here on the outside of our card. I'm just going to lay it here and kind of get the spacing how I want it to look, which is basically centered as much as possible. And then I'm just going to take this and kind of keep high that we can only go over here with our glue. So I need to stay to the left of my finger because we don't want to glue our card shut because that would be awful. And you know what? Oh no, I didn't. I thought I put the glue on the wrong side. Oh, almost had a heart attack. Oh my goodness. Alright, so we'll get that centered back up how we had that. We'll give that a good press. And we have our beautiful card. Okay, last thing we need is some bling. Let's use our same strawberry slush gems here. Let's see, what do we think? I think we'll do the darker ones. So, where's my take your pick tool? So we're going to take a big one. And we will put maybe up here in the corner. And then we'll get a couple little ones. One here. And maybe... I don't know why I'm always stressed about where to put the gems. Does anybody else have that problem, or is it just me? I guess we'll just do right there. Okay, so there is that. So let's bring this one back. So here's our 2 cards that we made for today. Pretty simple, but they turned out very nice. So don't forget to hit that like and subscribe. and ring that bell so you get notified every time I upload a video. And I will be back tomorrow with Template Tuesday. So we got some really cool templates this week, and we're going to be working with that Cute as a Bug paper set. So I will see you all then. Have a crafty evening. Bye.